Cameron Stewart of Locked On Baylor. Jake Retzlaff, good quarterback, huh?
Yeah, I think so.
Sam Leavitt?
I like to think he is.
Good quarterback?
Yeah, he's no Sawyer Robertson, but yeah, he's good.
Rocco Becht?
Good to the kids, too.
Avery Johnson? Good quarterback.
Pass.
Sawyer Robertson?
Good. Very good. Yes.
Hey, who wouldn't be shocked if Jalon Daniels has a bounce-back season, or even Connor Wegman, or that kid from Utah who threw 12 interceptions and 12 touchdowns that ran for like 6,000 yards last season? Maybe because that worked for Baylor last year. Maybe he ends up being pretty good too. The Big 12 last year was known as this great quarterback league in college football. Shedeur Sanders was kind of at the forefront of that going into the season. And this year, I can't name but a handful of SEC quarterbacks that are returning, or Big Ten quarterbacks that are returning. The longevity of the Big 12 QB and the amount of names that were spectacular just last season equates to the best quarterback league in the country. And I don't think enough people are talking about the depth, at the very least, the depth of what this league is about to offer.
I mean, it really feels like what the Big 12 was 10 years ago. Probably won't be as much of a track meet, but like when we're talking the days of Baker Mayfield and Patrick Mahomes and Kyler Murray and Will Greer and all these guys, Geno Smith, like they were real. And that's not even to mention the Baylor guys, like they were lighting up the scoreboards. And I think some analysts, national analysts, still believe that's what the Big 12 is or was a couple years ago when it was not that. But now we're back because it took me till like a couple of weeks ago to realize Jalon Daniels is even coming back. Yeah. Connor Wegman was still has a lot of good football left in him, I think. And Houston really desperately needs that. Like you go down this list 1 through 16 and you've got some real top tier quarterbacks, whether the people at ESPN know it or not, because last year you talked about it, like it was Shedeur and everyone else in terms of, the national media and what they thought about the Big 12. And they were just like, oh yeah, I guess Arizona State guy must be good. They're in the playoff. But with us in the Big 12, we were like, it's Shedeur and a lot of other really good guys. Like last year was the start of this. And you talk about the returners, like obviously Sawyer Robertson, Sam Leavitt at the top of that, but also Jalon Daniels and Noah Fafita is coming back. Remember the hype that guy had 2 years ago?
Still plays Big 12 football.
College football, man. It is. I actually went on a show, a Texas Tech show. I recorded it earlier today, and they asked what's Baylor's weakness here? Like, what would trip them up, barring a major injury? And I said, honestly, it's their defense getting picked apart by this league. You look at the schedule, you might not have a bunch of numbers next to names, but everybody's got a good quarterback, just about. Utah, I don't know. But everybody's got a good quarterback in this league that can win a game by themselves. And we haven't had that in a long time in the Big 12. But this is damn good. I mean, Sawyer Robertson, I would argue, is one of the top 3 or 4 returning quarterbacks in America right now. And he was snubbed for all Big 12 behind another Big 12 quarterback that's returning in Sam Leavitt. You go up and down the list, and there are very few teams in this conference that are wanting for a starting quarterback.
We didn't say Josh Hoover.
Hoover's flies under the radar, man. He really does.
Also good at football.
And with no running game, too. I don't like giving props to the TCU guys, but he had 0 running game last year, and he was one of the best quarterbacks in the conference.
Anytime Baron Morton doesn't play Baylor, he can be a good quarterback.
Talk about slept on. I mean, I'm victim of it right now, or perpetrating it right now, because he's not in that discussion. I don't think he's as good as Sawyer Robertson, but you look at the numbers, and Baron Morton is right there with Leavitt and Robertson. He's right there with those guys. Putting Avery Johnson ahead of Sawyer Robertson or Sam Leavitt on any one of these lists is asinine, but Baron Morton just slides under the radar because Tech's had a pretty good running game with Taj Brooks and everything, but he's been statistically right there with the top guys in the conference.
Reminds me a lot of Josh Hoover. Gives me Josh Hoover vibes. You don't always bring him up first in conversation, but you find your way there. You're like, oh shoot, yeah, that guy's also good. Kind of anchors the back end of your argument. Devin Dampier at Utah kind of made a jest of this earlier, but he did rush for 1,200 yards last season and 19 touchdowns. He scored 19 touchdowns on the ground while also passing for 2,800. So that's something. Caden Salter at Colorado. This kid was like a name on ESPN last year as Liberty was mowing through school. So their first, when they opened the season and seemed really good. And yeah, of course they dropped off. But there for a second, Caden Salter had an American thing going on. They also brought in a massive freshman quarterback who could start. Brennan Sorsby. He beat Arizona State last year.
Cincinnati was low-key sneaking up on everybody in the middle of last season. Then they stopped doing that, but they were doing that in the middle of the season. Can I give you another name since we're just guys naming dudes right now?
Give me another name.
This was a kid who's a Texas product. He actually wanted to go to Baylor. That was not reciprocated. And he was a serial winner in high school. I think you know where I'm probably going with this.
Yeah.
He went to TCU, and I was so bummed. And now he's going to be a starting quarterback somewhere else in the Big 12. Haas Haney is what you want Avery Johnson to be. Like, that's what he's going to be. This Haas Haney. I don't know if the rest of the team.
You don't love Avery Johnson.
I just don't like that he's put in that top tier. I actually do like Avery Johnson, but I don't like he's not Sawyer Robertson or Sam Leavitt. And there's still a lot of people in this conference that want you to think that he is because he's a great runner, and he is a great runner. But total yards, when you factor the rushing yards in, obviously in total yards, he's got like 15 more total yards than Sawyer Robertson had last year, and Sawyer had 2 less games. So like we're not that this is not like the, oh my gosh, he's such a better runner that he needs to be in that discussion. He shouldn't be. And Avery Johnson will now sneak up on people. But Haas Haney, do not sleep on this guy. I don't even know if it's this year. He's still a kid. He's going to be, did he redshirt last year? True sophomore or redshirt freshman?
He's a child.
And he is a child who knows how to win because he went to Alito High School. But that kid is going to be like, he has the makeup of an Avery Johnson. It's going to be an exciting one to watch. So up and down, man. Like, you're putting Haas Haney at the bottom of your list because we haven't seen him play yet. Like, this is a tremendous quarterback conference. Maybe that is what gets the ESPN people to wake up, just because the quarterbacks are so good.
Not to mention, I want to give credit to Nico Marchiol, who, when he needed to play for West Virginia, was good last season, or has been good in the past. Dylan Risk for UCF. When he played for UCF, they're at the end of the season, you're like, who is this?
Not much of a risk.
Why is he good? He's the one who beat Utah, helped them beat Utah in that last game of the year. And that is... And like
Jake Retzlaff, who we've thrown in once or twice, like, is he the most lighted up kind of quarterback in this conference? No. But they just won 11 games, man. And he was the quarterback the whole season. Yeah, so he doesn't put you in harm's way. He helps you win games, man.
He's the 6th best quarterback maybe in the Big 12 in a loaded quarterback conference, which is fine. There's not an issue with that. And you have Sawyer Robertson, and we already mentioned kind of Avery Johnson and Josh Hoover and Baron Morton being in the middle of Noah Fafita. So the SEC, conversely, Arch Manning, we know him. Garrett Nussmeier.
I mean, kind of, by the way. Like, I think Arch is going to be a great quarterback too, but how much has he played? You know what I mean?
I would rather have Sawyer Robertson now.
Right. Like, he's penciled in to win the Heisman, and it's like, okay, but let's actually see.
So, but we figure he'll be good. Garrett Nussmeier, Lenora Sellers, that's a name. DJ Lagway, there's 4. Then their 5th best quarterback, probably the Vanderbilt kid, who's like 27.
Javier, yeah.
Past that,
would you take him? Would you take him or
no? Not over Sawyer Robertson,
Jake Retzlaff.
Leavitt, or I'd take Retzlaff all day.
Retzlaff wins more.
John Mateer, Talon Green, Marcel Reed. These are names made up in the middle of these are AI generated names.
Talon Green lost to Oklahoma State last year. Like,
yes,
he did something that no Big 12 quarterback did last year, that was lose to Oklahoma State.
He's the best running back in the SEC that they placed in the quarterback position. The list, Austin Simmons. Where does Austin Simmons play for 500?
Yes.
He's the Ole Miss starting quarterback. That's how bad.
Sure.
Gunnar Stockton, Jackson Arnold, still alive. Still alive. Ty Simpson, Bo Prabula, Zach Calzada is going to start.
Whoa. Yeah. For whomst?
Kentucky. Connor Wegman
still playing college football?
Connor Wegman, Zach Calzada, Jackson Arnold.
Beat Alabama like 4 years ago?
Cade Klubnik, Wegman, like the list of names, you're like, holy 2019. My brain is exploding of guys.
Like, I feel like Baylor's about to go to the Sugar Bowl here with this, man.
And then lest we forget our Lord and Savior Blake Shapen, who will be Mississippi State starting. It's such a worse quote. Like,
where's Blake in the power rankings?
This isn't even in the Big 12 has more depth. The Big 12 is just so much better at quarterback than even the big powerful SEC. That was actually a really fun game of naming SEC quarter, including whoever the Ole Miss kid is, Austin Simmons.
Of course it is. Obviously,
they generated him in the middle of the two.
That is a my player, EA 25, like for the quarterback who didn't put his name in, didn't take $60.
And he's a white guy, but you can tell the voice they made for him, the voice actor, very obviously wasn't Austin Simmons. If you've ever done the my player thing, the voice actor's great.
Back to pass is Simmons.
And
Simmons complete.
Coming up, $205 million NIL deal. What? Locked on Big 12.